Hey guys, so today we are going to be creating an emotional thermometer. Mindfulness. Hey pilots and co-pilots, today we are going to be doing a mindfulness activity. So what you will need before we get started are some colors. We're making a thermometer, so if you have the traditional thermometer colors, that's great, but if not, it's not a big deal. I also just bring my pet rock with me everywhere as inspiration, and you might tear out a piece of paper from your journal. So go ahead and hit pause and gather those things. As we get started, some of you might be wondering, what is mindfulness? A simple definition is mindfulness is what is happening right now. Another definition for mindfulness would be taking notice of how your body feels and what you see, smell, and taste, even emotions. We're really going to be focusing on this part today. We are going to start by drawing our thermometer. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a black color or a dark color. Maybe you use a pencil for this. And I'm going to draw the bottom of a thermometer, which is just a circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to draw a tube. Doesn't have to be perfect, because that's about all I got right there. Now, I broke it up into thirds. I'm going to actually change these around, because the hotter it is, the closer to red it is. But you can have whatever colors you want. That's totally fine with me. When I'm really upset about something, I associate red more with it, but you might associate blue or purple or whatever color you want. So get your 3 colors ready and get ready to color. All right, now that you have your thermometer colored in, if you don't, hit pause, finish coloring it in, you're good. We're gonna go ahead and start labeling next to the side of it. Now, this is to be used as a resource for you to look at other times in life. So we're going to want to keep it and not write anything super specific on it, but I want there to be a couple of outlines. So the first thing when we're talking about mindfulness is we talk about feelings. So I want to talk about feelings that you might feel in this lower category. Now, this might not be for everyone, but there's a few things, and there's going to be a few repeat words as we go through this. So on the bottom right here, I'm actually going to start. And so I want to start with some of the emotions. So I'm going to write on one side, size of my reaction. Because on one side, we're going to talk about how we feel. Our reactions cause feelings. And over here, we're going to talk about how we feel, like the size of your problem, okay? Life is full of problems, and so it's important that we know how to emotionally regulate those things, which means how to bring ourselves back down to a level of calmness. So let's start over here. So we might have a problem that we would consider small. And usually if it's a small problem, that means that it's one that you can solve by yourself as a child. You can solve just as a kid. So you're going to write, I can solve myself. Now, at any point in time while we're doing this, if you need to hit pause so that you can catch up, that's totally fine. Just hit play when you're ready to go. On this side, if it's a problem that you can solve by yourself, that usually means it's smaller, and that's something totally okay, and you can handle it. But some things that you might feel with these small problems are a little, because we don't want to feel these things a lot. If it's a lot, then it's probably going to be higher up. But we might feel a little worried, we might feel a little annoyed. That's normal. And we might feel a little sad. And those are normal. But if it's only a little and it's something small, it's usually something we can solve ourselves. Now, there's some situations where the problem is more of a medium size. And so we're gonna write medium over here. Medium. So sometimes this means that you might need some help other than yourself. So someone needs to help me. This usually means it needs to be an adult, but sometimes it could be a friend or a sibling or a classmate. And this is when you feel more than a little. You feel worried. You feel confused maybe. You feel sad or even mad. But do you see, when we move from a little and we move from a small problem up to a medium, we need to recognize that we no longer need to problem solve on our own. This is when we should start to involve an adult. Now, when we get up into this red zone at the top of our thermometer, where we're all the way, we started small, we got up to medium, but now we're up here, and our problem is now big. And I'm gonna underline that. When we have a big problem, that means that adults need to solve it. This is when we feel really, I'm gonna write that in all caps, really scared, hurt, upset, or worried. Now you see the 3 different levels here. We start off small. Something small could be a disagreement with a sibling, but it might be something small where you're only a little annoyed with your sibling, and so you decide, I can problem solve this on my own. But when you start to feel it escalating, maybe you're starting to feel more than just a little worried or confused or mad, and maybe that means like you can probably do it with some help. I think help is really important there. But then if it gets even bigger, that's when adults need to step in and help. When you're feeling really scared, hurt, or upset. I would encourage you to keep this and hang it in your house. That way you have something to help you recognize what are problems you can solve, what are problems your parents need to solve, and then what emotions are sometimes tied to that. Have a great day, Giants.